Yes, my people, this is Savin, and I'm fortunately joined by Argentinian King. Argentinian King, how are you today?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Before anything, fuck Joey Knight. He's a bitch. He's fighting a 80 years old, 120 pounder, former 120 pounder, kickboxing or something world champion. Not even kickboxing. I think he's fucking Muay Thai or something like that. So don't buy that bullshit.
I see. So, when would you like that Joey fight?
Hmm. I mean, realistically, it's got to happen this year, but not next, because he's got a fight schedule, and I have fight news coming up very soon, and you'll know who I'm fighting next. So it's got to
Yeah.
happen not next, but after our commitment.
You said, you fought your first fight on Misfits was on Misfits 14 last year. How's your life been on Misfits so far?
It's been good. I mean, I don't know. It's been really weird because I like my whole life changed. Uh, Not in anything specific, but before I was actually living where you are now in Melbourne. So I was traveling
Yeah.
around the world. I was just chilling and doing content, and I didn't have any commitment whatsoever. And then my whole life changed, and I moved to America to do training camps there, and now I'm back in Argentina. So yeah, it did change a lot, and it's been a hell of a ride, to be honest. It was my dream and it came to fruition, and I'm really
Mm.
grateful for it. um, but at the same time, I wish it was a bit more straightforward, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I should have fought on January, and then it got canceled, and then I was scheduled to fight in March, and it got canceled. It's nobody's fault, by the way. I'm not blaming Misfits or nobody. I mean, everyone did their best. I just been really unlucky, man. That's it.
So with those cancellations, how has that affected you, like mentally? Because it must be difficult, when you're training and then to have that cancellation, like all of a sudden, like it feels like all your hard work has sort of like gone. So how was that for you?
Man, it's been really tough, really tough. The first one, like not that tough. Um, when the January fight got canceled, it was okay because I was like cutting weight, and I had to like lose a huge amount of weight in really a few weeks only. So I was struggling a bit with that. I was already like basically on weight. I think when the fight got canceled, that was December 24th. So that was really Christmas Eve that they got canceled. I was 143 or something like that. So I was Gucci. But I don't know. I was just, at the same time, I wanted to spend holidays with my family and stuff. I wanted to go on vacation and see my friends because I was in camp for so long. So I was like, we're still we're still 25 days or so until fight night. So it was not, like the last one that it was only a week away and
Yeah.
it got canceled. So I didn't take it that bad, to be honest. I was like, all right, let's just move on, and I'll go on vacation, enjoy the holidays, and then I'll be back, which I did. I took only 2 weeks off that I went to spend the holidays with my family. Then I went on a little vacation, and I came back to training camp. So I think the first or second week of January, I started training camp for the March 29th fight. So it was
Mm.
really long. It was almost 3 months. And I did a hell of a job in training camp, honestly. I was sparring really well. Everything was coming together. The weight was really there. Um, I think when they called me that the fight got canceled, I was 137 and a half. So
Mm.
basically, I was,
Yeah.
all the hard work and everything, it was done. Which is what was coming up next at that time, which is the fun. Enjoy the fight week, enjoy the lights, the camera, the fight itself. And yeah, it was really a really hard pill to swallow, to be honest. The 3 weeks after it got canceled, I was really depressed and sad. and
Yeah.
it was tough because many personal things happened throughout my training camp. Um, Literally, my dog passed away 2 days before the cancellation, and I couldn't even go and say goodbye. My dog was already like really ill, so it was just almost expected.
Mm.
But I couldn't go to say goodbye because I had like literally my last few sparrings and stuff. And then when it got canceled, I was like, "Fuck, you know." Um, and then yeah, I mean, I'm a content creator, but it was a really tough thing to overcome, like financially, if that makes sense. I had
Yeah,
to
yeah,
move
I
out.
bet. Yeah.
I think we would have fought probably on May 16th, but I just didn't have money to keep up with training camp. So I had to move out. I had to change the city. I had to focus on my travel agency because I didn't have money. I had to borrow money to finish both of my camps, and both of the fight got canceled. So yeah, it sucks, but it's life. It is what it is. You just gotta, you know,
Yeah,
take it.
yeah. Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't understand that these fight camps, you pay all your trainers, money, it all costs money. So for it to get cancelled, it's it's not easy, Not everyone's like KSI, you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's not. I
Yeah,
mean,
so it must be quite
how-
difficult. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, I know these people worked hard, but I know how much training camps cost. So it must be difficult for, yeah.
for me, it was like I was just telling my friends, right? When it got canceled, I was really sad. I was like, fuck, well, I might just retire. That's it.
Mm.
Everything happened for a reason. And I was telling my friends, and my friends were like, no, you gotta keep going. It is what it is. Shit happens. And I'm like, dude, imagine going to work for 5 months straight, paying money to go to work, and then not even get nothing in return. So it was really, really like it was just
Yeah.
frustrating. At the same time, you cannot get mad to nobody because it's nobody's fault. It just shit happens.
Yeah,
That's life.
exactly. Yeah.
You just gotta take it and become stronger and keep going. But and that's what I did at the end of the day. I mean, I had two options: retire and move on with my life and do something else, or trying to figure out my shit and then go back to training. And I did. I
Right.
mean, the fight got canceled, then I focused on business, on my travel agency, on brand deals and stuff like that. Because people don't understand, but when you're in training camp, you're not focused on, brand deals. You're not focused on, whatever job you might have. You're just focused on the fight, on preparing your body to war, and that's it. So, I had to take 1 month off to, get my shit together, get my company together, and now I can keep going, thankfully, after a month of sleepless nights, but I've done it. So
No, that's really inspiring to hear. So I actually want to ask you, when you first got approached by Misfits, was it something that you expected, or were you like quite surprised? Or how did that work out? Like your first involvement with like Mams and everyone?
man, I was seeking it for a year or something. I remember the first message that I hit up Mams with, it was February of the year before I got into Misfit. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So
Okay,
2023? 2023?
2023, and I got in 2024, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that whole year, I was just trying to get in, and I'll message Mams literally every day, be like, give me the opportunity, I'll fight like whoever, I got this, and so on and forth. And back then I was living where you live in Melbourne, beautiful city.
Yeah, beautiful.
And
Yeah.
very beautiful girls too there. Yeah, they're hot. Anyway, so I was living there, and one day I came back from my job. I was doing Uber Eats, and I also had a job as a community manager in a cafe. And I came back. I remember coming back from my job, and I got home. I was super tired, and I pick up my phone, and I was like, "Oh, Mams Taylor follow you." I'm like, "Oh God, this is happening." I couldn't believe, like, I was pinching myself. I was crying, literally crying. I had like audios sending to my friends, like, it's happening, guys. Like, I've been chasing this for a year. I've been praying for this, manifesting it. And at some point, I thought it was never going to happen, but I never stopped trying. And one day, it just happened. And you just, a dream come true, really. Like a dream come true. Um, it was crazy. It really was.
Oh, that's really good to hear. So, when you were in Australia, were you training boxing or was it like an on and off sort of thing?
I mean, I had amateur fights, but I think my last amateur fight was 2017. So that was like what, 7 years ago or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I moved to the US when I was 20, because before, like after that, I got injured, so I had to stop boxing. Then when I tried to come back to the amateurs in 2020, COVID happened. So, there nothing was going on here. And I moved to America to live there in the States. And I was there for 2 years and until 2022. So I was not training. I'll go to the gym occasionally, but not training on a daily basis. And then when I was in Australia, I just came back to the gym to do amateurs. I just wanted to do an amateur fight there. And it didn't happen because Misfits came first.
Oh, it's good to hear. So, was boxing always the dream for you when growing up? Because obviously you had amateur fights, or do you think you were ever gonna box as like, as a quote unquote career? Did you think?
No. I mean, I never thought it was gonna be my career. It was my dream for
Yeah.
sure. I always wanted to be a boxer. But I never thought or dreamed about the whole process. I'm also like always was dreaming about having a fight week with all the
Yeah.
cameras and action and the ring walk and all of that stuff. That was really my goal. And when I heard about Misfits, that was back in 2021 probably or something like that, I was like, damn, like my dream can really come to fruition. Like my childhood dream can come to fruition with Misfits. And it was crazy. And from that moment on, I would be like, in my mind was just, this will happen. I know it will. I don't know how
Yeah.
and when, because only God knows the time. But I knew it was gonna happen eventually. But yeah, it was my dream. But I never thought about boxing as a career. Not even now. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I was confused last year, choosing boxing as a career. I should have trained. I should have done training camps. I should have taken boxing as serious as I did, but not as a career. Now I'm not taking boxing as a
Yeah,
career.
yeah,
I have other stuff going on.
yeah. So, but I've seen you have quite a big following, obviously on TikTok, about 500,000 followers on Instagram, 300,000 followers, and you create content in Spanish. Um, your Spanish audience or your Argentinian audience, how do they know about the Misfits stuff? Because as you know, Misfits is like more like UK and US. Like, do they know about it? Because you have a pretty big fan base.
Well, they do know because I promote the shit out of it.
Yeah.
In fact, in both of my 5 weeks, I did like million and million.
Yeah, I saw
millions.
that. You got like 1.6 million on one of your 5 week posts. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and even like the first fight against Puli, he was crazy because he was talking shit about the Falklands. And here in Argentina, you do not talk about that.
Yeah.
So Puli was famous here. He was in the newspaper.
Oh wow.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember. I didn't know what was going on because my friends would tell me, bro, everyone is talking about the fight. I'm like, yeah, you are my friend. What you gonna say? And after a fight, I didn't even come back to Argentina. I went on vacation. So I didn't really know if people watched the fight or not. But then, because I knew like, yeah, I was doing okay in social media. I think one of the videos of me and Puli before the fight did 1.5 million views.
A million and a half. Yeah, correct.
and then everything that I would post, it was crazy. It was like 500 views, 700 views, 700K views, right?
Yeah.
500,000 views and stuff like that. I'm like, oh shit. But I didn't know if the people watch it or not. I knew they were aware of the fight because I never in my life received that amount of messages, like literally after a fight. So I won, right? And I came back to the locker room and I pick up my phone and my Instagram wouldn't even work. Like I couldn't even see all the messages I was
Wow.
getting. They were like, I'm not even lying. That was
Yeah.
crazy. And, then when I came to Argentina, probably a month after a fight, because I was traveling and stuff. Yeah, I'll get a stop in the street and they'll ask me for pictures and stuff, and they'll bring up the fight. In fact, I'd say for the last year, every picture that I've taken in the streets, I'd say yeah, probably everyone or 99% of it were boxing related. So they were asking me for a picture because they watched one of my fights or they knew that I was a boxer.
Oh wow, that's really good to hear because like obviously you, Julie, Amadeus, like on the top of my head, have like an international fan base and yeah, quite a big following. Like I think, with Amadeus he has a very, very big like Polish following and like they like
Yeah.
for like I think one of the Instagram polls like he absolutely dominated. And I think it's like for me personally, I think it's important for Misfits to expand to these sort of countries because obviously like they have fans, they have a lot more fans there. So with that being said,
Well, even Julie
yeah, even
Boca,
Julie Winderson, like
yeah,
just to name.
I think he's smart, but I don't know. Like here in Argentina, like people are poor. Like I think we have 70%, not 70, probably 50% of the population that they are poor. So they're not gonna spend them. They're just gonna watch it through a link. That's the hard truth. Whether you like it or not, it's gonna happen. So that's what I always wanted to fight on the kickoff to see really how many people would tune in, but
Yeah.
it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future.
So for future events, would you like Misfits to host potentially in like a Spanish speaking country or maybe hopefully in Argentina? Would you like that to happen?
That'd be awesome. I mean, people don't get it. They really don't. The amount of effort that I gotta do every time to promote the fights in a language that is not
Yeah.
mine,
Yeah.
to do all the trash talk in a language that is not mine, it's hard, man. I don't speak English; it's my second language, and even like promoting the fight is tough because I'm talking shit to a guy that is speaking English, and 99% of my followers they only speak Spanish. So how the fuck can I do a whole storyline? It's
Yeah.
pretty much impossible. But I do my best. Hopefully one day I can fight a Spanish speaker influencer, so that'd be a bit more easier, I'd say. But at the same time though, I got so used to trash talking in English and doing all the interviews and stuff in English that when I do have an interview in Spanish, it just I don't even know what to say because I don't know. It just English is easier for that stuff because I'm used to it. In Spanish, I never done probably an interview. Well, I did a few podcasts and stuff, but not boxing related. So English is okay, but it'd be easier Spanish to promote and to create a storyline and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I think you should still like speak Spanish because that's where your like fans are. Like, especially with like Julie and Winderson when they speak. Like, we might not understand what they say, but we can feel like the emotion, you know. So I think that's like really good because they should talk to their fans. Like, I think Julie trying to learn English, which I think is good. Like, okay, like fair enough, but like most of her fans are from Brazil. I think if she speaks Portuguese, she'll be able to talk to her fans instead of like, cater towards because Misfits is a very small community compared to her fans. So I think that's what I think.
No, you're right. I mean, the thing is, every time that I try to speak in Spanish, they'll let me speak in Spanish. But for instance, in the when I fought in London, I asked, I don't remember who interviewed me in the ring, and I was like, I'll do everything in English. Just give me the last part to say something in Spanish. And they wouldn't let me do that. So I had to do
Wait,
everything in
they
English.
won't let they didn't let you speak Spanish?
No, no, yeah, I mean, they would. They don't
Oh, they
care.
would, they
But
would. Oh,
I don't know if they forgot or not. But when I was like, all right, I'm done now. I already said everything that I had to say to Joe, and I can I say now thank you to my fans in Spanish? And they were like, we're done. I was like, all right, fair play.
Okay. Yeah. So, speaking of Joey Knight, um, other than Joey Knight, would you say there's anyone else you would like to box after Small Spartan J, or I just Joey Knight, focused on him?
Just Joe and I. That's the goal. I mean, it's got to happen for the Misfits community. I mean, the fight should have happened in the semifinals. It didn't. So now it should happen next. I mean, I'm not interested in fighting anybody else but Joey after Jay. I don't care about the money. I don't care about. It's not about the money. It's not about nothing else. I just want to fight Joey and I. You know what I mean? And even after the March fight got canceled, that I really thought about retiring. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm not gonna box again. You know, some days I'll get up in the morning and I'll go for a run and I'll put my headphones in and I'll put music. And the only thing that I imagined was me walking out and fighting Joe and I. So it just has to happen. I cannot retire before fighting him. So hopefully it happens before the end of the year. We'll see.
Yeah. So with this sort of like beef with Joey Knight, when did things start to get like personal? Because obviously some feuds or fights are like for like the cameras, but when did you and Joey, do you think, became more personal, you think?
Definitely after Nashville. So I met Joey in Nashville. In fact, we took a picture there and we did a little face-off, but we were cool. Then I saw the way he behaved towards people and the way he treated people, fans and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't like this dude. He's not, a good person. And then, fast forward, I said a couple of things, and then he would just, I was going crazy, but he was going crazy too. So I'm like, hold on. And then in the May fight in London, I remember I was walking out when they called my name. I was walking out, and the first thing that I saw was fucking Joey Knight, and he was screaming at me, screaming. I think the TV didn't catch that, but I was walking out, and he was just screaming, "I'll beat the shit out of you, you blah blah, and this and that." And I'm like, dude, chill out. And then, well, you all saw what happened in the ring, and he even tried to punch me in the ring. He was like, but he was way too drunk to do anything.
Oh yeah. For sure. But wait, so you said that you didn't like the way Joey Knight treated people. Was that like, did that surprise you coming from him when you first met him?
It was when I met him, but I met him after a fight. I was like, congrats, bro, you did a good job, well done.
Yeah.
And then I was like watching him, and I was like, why are you that cocky? You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta be humble. Like, you just gotta be nice. You're nobody. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, I don't like this dude. So if I could choose somebody to punch in the face, I'd rather choose someone that I don't like. For instance, Joey.
Yeah.
The guy is a bitch. He would just talk a lot of shit, and then the truth is, the fight should have happened in the semifinal, but that his boy, True Jordy, probably saved him, and they were like, no, he's not fighting Argentinian King. Yeah, it is what it is. His gay friend saved him, so it's okay.
Yeah, I see. So I can sense that this fight means a lot to you. How how much would it make you feel like? What would you feel when you finally win? If you win, when you
when
win.
I win.
Yeah,
When
when
I
you
win.
win. Yes.
Like Joe and I cannot beat me. Like that will never happen. It just styles make fight. I played the fight many times in my mind, and yeah, there is no way he's got no chance. That said, I'll be fucking happy, man. I'll be probably as happy as when I got the message from Mams that I was fighting on Misfits. Probably, yeah, as happy as that moment. Because people even here in Argentina, right? They will stop me in the streets and they're like, can I take a picture? Yeah, blah, blah. And then they'll go, and when you're fighting the English guy, the guy that looks old
Yeah.
and the guy that talks a lot of shit, I'm like, oh, that's Joey. Hopefully next. But, that fight ended up never happening so far. So we'll see.
Yeah. That's good to see that your fans are also wanting to have the fight as well. So when the fight happens, I think just everything, the build up, the cameras, everything will just be like amazing. So
Yeah, I mean, it'll be nuts because
yeah,
I mean, I'll give him that. He's well spoken, and he knows how to promote, and he knows how to trash talk. The thing with Joe is that he's never got someone like a good dancing partner.
yeah,
Everyone he fought so far, they've been so quiet and respectful. I'm like, I don't give a shit about you, alcoholic looking face. I'll punch you every single day of the week.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's also really good for influencer boxing because at the end of the day, you guys are not pro boxers, if you get what I mean. Like you train and you put your lives on the line. Like, there's a lot of risk when anyone steps into the ring. But like as you said, like in my opinion, not to throw hate, I'm not throwing hate, but like some of those people were like, they're talking as if like they were boxing like their whole life. Like they'll walk like very serious, very like I think about Misfits and like influencer boxing is about the trash talk, it's about the promotion, and that is like very important. And to not have that, well, might as well just go watch normal boxing. I mean, even in normal boxing, they have like trash talk as well. So
Yeah.
that's why
But in influencer boxing, it should be a bit more. It's a
yeah,
mix of. I think no, like yeah, some people they do talk as if they've been fighting the whole life, and the only one that I think is been fighting two actually that they've been fighting non-stop their whole life is Joey, that he's trash, and Cray that he's also trash. Because if these people they've been training and fighting non-stop for like 10 years or so, bro, what they've been doing? I just been doing this for now a year or something, and I'm as good as them. So I don't know what they've been doing. They've been fucking losing their time or something. I don't know. Just give me one more year and two more fights, and then I'll be on top.
yes, yeah, exciting things for the future. So before,
Also, when I fought Puli, everyone was like, "Oh, Argentinian king, you are trash. You are terrible. Puli is a terrible fighter, and you couldn't knock him out and stuff like that." Puli is awkward, ladies and gentlemen. If you know something about boxing, you know that sometimes when they don't know how to box, it's more complicated for the fighter that does know how to box. And Puli has that awkward style that's gonna make you look like shit all the time. He did it against me, and he did it against Dean. That,
yeah,
by the
Dean,
way,
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah,
I think he won.
yeah, me too. I think in my opinion, I thought Puli won. Yeah.
So Puli, shout out to Puli, by the way. Big up Puli. Every time Puli fights now, my stock just goes up.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden I'm not that bad. I didn't put that bad of a performance. It was okay. And now that I look back on it, it was just an okay performance.
Yeah.
The thing though is people didn't know that Puli was a good fighter.
Yeah, exactly. People just assumed, his previous fight before you, I think why? Because he lost a small spot to Jay. Yeah. Because I was gonna say his previous fight was against Dean. No, his first fight was against Dean, but then he lost to Jay. So people just automatically thought, this guy's trash. But like Puli's quite good. Well, in my opinion.
He's a good fighter.
Yeah, he's a
He's
good fighter.
awkward. He just he knows how to make you look bad, and he knows how to survive. And he's also punching now. He can crack a little bit.
Yeah.
And his last performance against A-Pop, it was a good performance. He
very
almost
good,
knocked-
very good. Yeah.
So Puli, big up Puli, man. He's a good fighter.
Yeah, big up Puli indeed.
That rematch has to happen, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
told him.
another fight that could happen. 100%.
I told him. So when we fought, he took the fight in 5 days or something. That, by the way, I know he took the fight in 6 days notice, but he fucking fights the same way all the time. Whether he trains or not, he looks the same. So don't take that as an excuse. Yeah, when he took the fight in 7 days, I told him, I'm gonna give you the rematch and I'll give you a full training camp to see what you got. And I'm a man of my word. So yeah, I'm up for it. I thought it was gonna happen next, but then I got the offer to fight small Spartan Jay, so I was like, all right. I mean, don't choose my opponents. I'll fight anyone. I don't care.
Okay, so before we wrap things up, I asked this after all my interviews. What do you think? What is the best piece of advice or best quote that you've heard in your life?
Probably never stop dreaming. Yeah, it doesn't matter how big you dream. I don't know how to say this in English. I'm trying to translate that in my mind. But basically, it doesn't really matter how big you dream. Just dream big, because even if you don't get there, and you get halfway, you would have gotten way farther than if you didn't dream as big. If that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Maybe you can put
how does the quote in Spanish sound like? Is it?
Do you want me to say it in Spanish?
Yeah, you can say it in Spanish.
So it says something like, sueñen en grande porque no importa si no llegas a cumplir tu sueño cuando soñas en grande. Incluso si la vida te deja a mitad camino, vas a haber llegado mucho más lejos que si hubiese soñado como más smaller, no me salen, más chico. There we go.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time, Argentinian King. Yeah.
My pleasure. Stay tuned because fight news are coming up next. Hopefully, very very soon. Just go back to training camp 2 weeks ago. So I'll be ready soon. Hopefully.
Yeah. God bless. Wish you all the best in the future.
God bless you, brother.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another interview in the books. Thank you so much for Argentinian King coming on the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you when you're older. Don't go changing. Bye-bye.